at her walking down Nanjing Road in Shanghai, the city lights wrapping around her like silk, every head turning as she passes in that sleek ivory midi dress, one hand tucked loosely in her pocket, shoulders back, gaze straight ahead like she owns every inch of the pavement beneath her heels. Anyone watching would assume she was born into wealth, dressed in labels most people only see in magazines, living a life with no bills, no tears, no heavy choices weighing her down. But no one ever warns you that this kind of beauty, the kind that stops traffic, the kind that makes strangers forget what they were about to say, can become the most dangerous trap of all for the woman who wears it, if she never learns to see her own worth beyond the stairs. Just like Scarlett in today's story. She was the most beautiful woman I had ever laid eyes on. And that same blinding, effortless beauty destroyed everything our family ever had. It was our 10th wedding anniversary, and I was standing in the dark hallway of our hill country home just outside Austin, a velvet ring box burning a hole in my jacket pocket, a 2-carat platinum band I'd worked 3 extra months of overtime to afford, the kind of upgrade I'd promised her the day we said I do in that tiny church with a cracked parking lot. In my other hand, I carried a dozen white roses, still dewy and cold from the grocery store cooler, the kind she used to say were the only flower that didn't try too hard. Through the closed bedroom door, I heard her laugh, and I froze mid-step, because it wasn't the soft, warm laugh I'd fallen in love with at 22, the one that used to bubble up when I'd burn my toes or dance badly in the kitchen before breakfast. It was high, breathy, reckless, a laugh I'd never heard before in a decade of marriage, the laugh of a woman who has forgotten there are rules or consequences, or a husband standing 3 feet away holding a ring and flowers. Scarlett Hayes was 32 then, 5'7", with honey blonde waves that fell halfway down her back, eyes the exact clear blue of a Texas summer sky right before the sun sets, cheekbones sharp enough to cut glass, and that rare, unteachable way of moving that made even a t-shirt and jeans look like a runway outfit. Everywhere we went, men stared. The grocery store, our 7-year-old daughter Lily's soccer games, even church on Sundays. Strangers bought her drinks at restaurants without asking. Waiters forgot my order entirely once they looked at her. And for 10 years, everyone who knew us whispered the same thing behind my back, half admiring, half confused. How did a regular, hard-working architect, the kind of guy who drove a beat-up 2018 F-150 and rotated the same 3 faded flannel shirts year after year, land a woman that looks like that? I never minded. I worked 12-hour days designing custom homes for Austin's new millionaires, drew blueprints on my kitchen table long after the lights went out, turned down promotions that would have kept me away from home more, all so she never had to want for anything. I bought her the $4,000 Chanel bag she pointed out once in a magazine window, paid $12,000 for the cosmetic procedure she cried about for 3 days straight after Lily was born, saying her body was ruined and no one would ever look at her the same way again. Hired a full-time housekeeper so she never had to lift a finger to clean a toilet or fold a load of laundry. I told myself it was worth it. A woman that stunning, that rare, deserved to be spoiled. I thought if I gave her everything she asked for, she would never have a reason to leave. Lily was the center of my whole world, quiet and stubborn, with her mother's blue eyes and my square, determined chin. The kind of kid who would sit in my home office for hours coloring while I worked, never complaining, always leaving little crayon drawings of horses on my desk, I love you daddy, scrawled across the bottom in wobbly letters. She slept with the same tattered stuffed rabbit she'd gotten for her 2nd birthday, its fur matted, one ear half torn off, and refused to sleep through the night unless it was tucked under her arm. For 10 years, I truly believed we had the kind of family people wrote songs about, the kind that looks perfect from the outside, the kind you never imagined can crack wide open in the space of a single overheard sentence. I lifted my hand that night to knock on the bedroom door, and I heard his name for the first time, rolling off her tongue like something sweet and forbidden. God, she purred through the room. Have no idea how tired I am of her. Same boring routine every single night. Home by 6, kisses my cheek, asks about my day like he actually cares. He's so sick, so predictable. He doesn't make me feel alive the way you do. The roses slipped from my fingers then, white petals scattering across the pine floors like falling snow. And I backed slowly down the hall, the ring box digging into my palm, my breath coming short and sharp when someone had kicked me hard in the chest. I'd spent a decade laying every brick of our life together, working myself to the bone to build a castle for the woman I loved, only to find out the queen had been letting a stranger sleep in the phone room the whole time. Looking back later, once the shock wore off enough to think straight, the clues had been everywhere for 6 months, bright as neon signs. I just hadn't wanted to see them. She started keeping her phone face down on the kitchen counter, locked tight with Face ID and a passcode she changed twice without telling me. If I walked into a room while she was texting, she would snap it shut like a Venus flytrap, rolling her eyes and saying it was just work stuff when I asked, like I was crazy for even caring. She started coming home later and later, 10, 11, midnight, always claiming wine nights with the girls, always hugging me quick and light at the door like she was in a hurry to get away. But her hair never smelled like wine or perfume I recognized. It smelled like expensive cedar and smoke cologne, deep and masculine, nothing any of her friends' husbands do. She flamed.
You say, slow down. I don't like to move too fast. It drowns the truth with things that are not real, and I really want us to be real with love, love that lasts. In the past I messed up, gave too much. What is it with time? Why can't we unwind? And all the hurt we deal with, I wanna leave my cares behind. And now that time has passed, I see why we are lonely. Ooh, should've let me speed it up. You could've had more of me. Oh, and now that time has passed, I see why we were lonely. Oh, should've let me speed it up. You could've had more of me. And now that time has passed, I see why we were lonely. Should've let me speed it up. You could've had more of me.
For someone younger, someone newer, someone who hadn't had a child and hit 32 and started to show. Now look at these young women on the streets of Beijing, each one moving with that same easy, unshakable stride. No one rushing, no one checking over her shoulder to see who's watching. One wears a long, flowing linen dress the color of dried lavender, hair braided loose down her back, carrying a worn leather tote like she's on her way to a bookstore in a quiet afternoon alone.